Seoul, Korea, and welcome to the GSL Up and Down matches with Tastes and Artosis. We have some pretty exciting games today. We had some pretty exciting games yesterday.
Everything about the GSL is exciting all the time.
Never slows down. Just nonstop action. I never take a break, Artosis. We already saw some pretty wild results. Jinro, poor guy, disappointing games there. Hopefully he'll do better in Code A. Now, for today's games, we're going to have TSL aLive, Zenix Byun, and Czech Prime for our first set of today's games. I think this is a pretty evenly matched group.
I agree completely. These are all really great players and all seem to be right around the same skill level. Byun has shown some amazing games. Czech has shown some amazing games. And aLive, during the Team League especially, has shown some amazing games.
We have our first series is going to be a Terran versus Terran. I think Byun is probably the favorite in this TVT.
In TVT, I would say
I think he's got the right attitude going in there.
aLive's it's pretty good, too. He did some good TVTs during the Team League. So.
Well, you know what I always think about is Byun's games against OGS Top. Out of all the series I've casted, finals and everything, that's one of the series that stuck to me the most. So, but we'll see. I mean, you're totally right. aLive is quite talented and certainly has a chance of taking this. Let's go ahead and take a look at the results of yesterday's games.
Well, we had MVP Keen move up to Code S, and staying in Code S will be TSL Trickster. Unfortunately, San, despite his meteoric rise to ghostness, is now down in Code A.
Yeah, and this guy's going from 0 to hero, then back to 0.
Yeah, well, Code A isn't 0, but it's like 5 out of 10.
It's like a 5 out of 10. All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
You know what?
Zenix Coca gets into Code S. Xenio stays in Code S, and poor Liquid Jinro down to Code A. Have to fight back this next season.
Well, that was a tough group, for these guys here. Jinro very disappointed in his loss, and we're gonna go on to today's games here. We have, as you can see, aLive, Byun, and Czech Prime for our first group. Over here in Group D, we have Liang from the Team Slayers, OGS MC, and Hongun Prime. That is the group I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I am too. I feel like Hongun is going to go down. I don't know, man. I have a lot of faith in this young kid. He has shown some amazing games.
Yeah, he's pretty scary. And, MC, I just don't see getting into Code A. If he does, he's going to pull an MVP and strap a rocket to his back and fly all the way up to the next group. So, all right, as you can see here, our first player. Actually, that's pretty good record if you look at who he's had to play against. No shame in losing to Liang.
No, of course. As I just said, he's an amazing player, Young is. So, aLive has had some great games. You notice he's taken out a lot of amazing players. Twilight, a very good StarCraft 1 pro. For some reason, that name is escaping me of what his ID was. Leenock, of course, it's Leenock. He's beaten aLive already.
I think aLive actually defeated himself there. He's in a constant state of overcoming right now.
Yeah.
He's like the Ubermensch.
My brain is actually shutting off right now.
But
it's like I'm a robot that just was given a paradox or something. I'm supposed to save humans, but I have to kill a human to save a human.
Wow.
Like, I don't know what's going on, Tasteless. My circuits are going short.
Now over here, as you can see, actually, this is pretty impressive results as well from Byun. He did lose.
Well, look at the people he has lost to. They're like the best players.
Yeah,
MMA, Lucira, Clyde, MC, top at SC.
There's really nothing shameful about losing to those individuals. And the people he did beat, Leenock, Xenio, Rainbow, those guys are very good. So I think if you actually look at who Byun has had to face off against, this is not bad. If you look at his GSL record in general, it was 18-18. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. Now Czech, he's been on a little bit of a down streak lately. He's had a hard time this last season, but still a very good player, a legend in the Warcraft 3 community.
And if you look at his recent losses, not a Rainbow Killer and Fruit Dealer. There's really, as I said, no shame in losing to those individuals. Byun, as usual, looking calm and confident. aLive, I like that hair, by the way.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Wears well. Team very stylish with their red hair.
I'm digging it. So the game is loading. It's going to be time for our first best of 3 today. It's going to be on Tal'Darim Altar. We also have Terminus Re and Dual Sight as the next map. Dual Sight only if we do go to a third and deciding game. There's no more time. Head-to-head, Terran versus Terran, aLive against Byun here at the GSL. All right, over here in the bottom left, it's cross spots. We have his current physical status.
TSL aLive.
But can he survive this game, Artosis?
I just don't know, Tasteless. Time will tell. We all have to die at some point.
Everybody dies. Nobody's getting out of this thing alive. That's life. Over here in the upper right, we have Byun.
You can't prove that, Tasteless. I'm going to outlive you.
Yeah, you
won't know if I ever died or not.
You'll have your brain in some R2-D2 machine.
Absolutely.
Thank you, LG, Intel, and G-Skill for making this event possible. And thank you, viewer. Yes, you some nerds alone. He's got a little blanket over there. Got a little bowl of pretzels. He's like, me? Yeah. And that...
Is that a Marauder with a top knot?
It looks like, what is that little thing, little robot you can buy that vacuums your carpet but moves in random patterns?
Oh, that little thing? Roomba.
A Roomba. Yeah.
Roomba. Roomba.
Roomba?
Yes.
Roomba. Yes,
Roomba, man.
Let's see, if I remember what that was, that would have been much funnier, but instead I had to...
Actually, I think it was funny how it was.
All right. You approve? Mm-hmm. This map is interesting because there are 4 Xel'Naga watchtowers in the middle, so generally, as important as those are to control, early game, each player basically gets 2. Now, late game, one of the things that's key in winning on this matchup on this map is to control those Xel'Naga watchtowers, have siege tanks there, and ultimately force your opponent to step into a region where he's going to get shot by those and take some damage.
Absolutely. Tal'Darim Altar, we've seen some amazing Terran vs. Terran matchups on this map in all sorts of leagues around the world. It seems like every single league and the ladder is using Tal'Darim Altar. It's definitely been decided as one of the best maps. And I can't disagree, Taste. It's a huge, wide-open center. Gives us some different play from what we see on other maps.
And for those of you that are new to the GSL or StarCraft or esports in general, big maps in RTS games completely change the way that you approach it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Much more, much less random, I guess is the best way to put it. Because you're going to have more time to react properly to things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we do see Byun is getting a Reaper. Meanwhile, aLive getting his factory up. And no second gas for him. So we might just see some sort of Hellion harassment. And likely an expansion relatively quickly.
Here comes the SCV.
Second gas.
He did get a second gas? Okay.
Just did.
And no second gas here for Byun yet. Byun probably going to go for an expansion. You know, one thing about Byun, similar to Lin, he loves tech lab openings.
Yes.
He can't get enough of them.
He is a very tactical player. You don't really look at him specifically as macro style, more of tactics.
Yeah.
Not even micro, just like he tries to choose a really great strategy and make sure it gets executed correctly.
Actually, I think you summed it up perfectly.
Thank you.
How do you do it, Artosis?
I reach into your brain and what your brain is about to say in 5 seconds, and I take it out and say it, and then your brain gives up because it's like, well, he already said it. I'm stealing it from you.
Do you put your pants on one leg at a time like every other man, Artosis?
No, actually, I hold them in the air and jump into them. I would never put them on one leg at a time.
No,
that takes twice as long. What, are you stupid?
No. Foolish thing of me to say. We are about to find out that a Reaper can actually beat a Hellion 1-on-1. I did not know that.
Yeah, actually, the
SCV
got 2 hits there. I wasn't actually aware that a Reaper owns
I didn't know that. I just learned something, guys.
Yeah.
Because whenever I've gotten a Reaper, I've actually ran away from the Hellion.
Yeah. It seems like that Hellion should beat a Reaper, man. Whenever you look at the Reaper, like, well, this is for killing Zerglings and SCVs.
People need to know this. We're supposed to be experts on this game. We did not know that. The world needs to know. I want you guys to go wake up Mom. She's probably sleeping. Be like, Mom, a Reaper can beat a Hellion.
And she'll probably be like, oh, you're such a noob. I already knew that. Go back to sleep.
She'll be like, no, it does. You'll be like, no, Mom. Mom. I'm serious.
Do you get what this means, Mom?
I've got work in 2 hours. Why don't you get a job?
Well, we do have Banshees coming out for aLive. Not getting any cloak, though. Just some Banshees for harassment. Looks like he will go into Siege Tank Marine play. Pretty standard. Pretty awesome. Meanwhile, Byun going for 3 racks before his barracks. I mean, his factory.
He's going to go for that Marine King
3 racks style. Before his barracks. You know what that is? That's 4 racks.
Wow.
Yeah.
He did not transfer any SCVs. Byun did not to the expansion. What are your thoughts on that?
It is interesting, Tasteless, because
I don't tend to transfer as much.
Well, it certainly matters when you expand, but if you're going to be going for full saturation, you do want to send some SCVs so that you have maximum efficiency for both bases.
You know, the funny thing about StarCraft 2 is that the workers mine more efficiently. Oh! Banshee trying to do some damage here.
Ooh!
He needs to turn around.
Yeah, he needs to go home now. Get a repair on that. Hope his insurance covers Marines.
I know. Now, as you can see, actually, same thing here from aLive. So, apparently in Terran vs. Terran, we don't transfer right away with expansion builds like this. I guess the mining time lost during that small moment when they're transferring it would slow down your barracks explosion.
Yeah, and while that's true, I mean, right now, aLive, he has about 3 SCVs per patch, and that's when you actually get optimal mining. When you have 3 SCVs per patch, you are maxed out.
And you know what? You know, aLive has now rallied the main command center to the expansion command center. I mean, the expansion command center's minerals.
Not sure if that is absolutely 100% more efficient than just sending
a bunch,
a small amount of SCVs one time.
It is interesting. Where is Byun's rallied still to his main?
Yes, it is.
It is. So as we can see, the Zelnaga watchtowers are split here. 2 for each player. 1 not occupied, but still in his turn.
Where's the 5th tower?
Right as I said it, you clicked on it. I'm like, I gotta wiggle my way out of this thing.
The Banshee coming over, gonna clean up that SCV.
Stim Marines here.
Thinks the Banshee's gonna be going up there. It's not.
It's not.
He's stimming towards nothing.
You joker.
Poor medevac being made to work extra.
All right, we see he's continuing to tech up. Looks like Marine Siege Tank. Yeah, the more orthodox approach is coming here from aLive. Meanwhile, Byun is actually going for, again, the Marine King Prime style. That's Marine Marauder medevac. It's more mobile, but at times very fragile.
Yeah, it can be quite fragile, but I kind of like it here. Oh my god, wait a minute! Getting caught there. He cannot be losing any Marines right now. And in fact, this is a pretty strong rush timing by aLive. If he gets in a position behind the expansion and sieges up, things might go very badly for Byun. That would be just no Byun.
That's the funniest dumb joke you've ever said. It'd be no Byun for Byun. You actually made my horse sound effect laughter. I'm like, well,
I don't know why I'm all giggly today. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I do like the Viking Banshee edition in this army.
Definitely going to add some additional spotting. I do love people who Banshee kite with siege tanks against Marines and Marauders just kind of sitting there.
I feel like there's no unit that kills stuff more quickly at such an out-of-control pace as a Banshee.
You don't think so?
Uh-oh, hold that thought. I'm shocked that he actually stimmed and ran in there.
He's got a similar amount of Marines, and then there's also tanks to siege mode. And yeah, it's... this could be very bad for Byun! And he loses quite a few Marines there. Can't be doing that. And now he's down 15 supply, Tasteless. And as the Marine Marauder medevac player, you don't want to be down 15 supply against someone who has siege tanks.
Generally, in a moment like this, we'd see him pick his army up with the medevacs and go and try to attack somewhere. But unfortunately for him, aLive isn't expanding. He's staying on 2 base. Ideally, aLive would like to get to the location exactly where the Blue Marines are, and then he can hit the command center from the low ground. Oh, don't do it.
That Banshee going to start being worth its weight in gold right now, as if it wasn't already. Has 10 kills, LOL.
Oh, I like that. He stims and sends 1 Marine over there to the left to peek. Now he comes in again. And this is a bad idea.
He actually has less bio out there than his opponent. And, well, he's got to hit now before those tanks get sieged, but he didn't. Loses some additional units, and Byun is looking a little bit outclassed this game, Tasteless.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, you know what aLive's done here is he's just pushed so smoothly here, and Byun was not quite equipped to deal with it. You know, when you're going Marine Marauder medevac, although, you know, oddly enough, Byun has switched back into Marine tank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It started out as kind of Marine King Prime style, but he's kind of reverted back into that. You need to be on the map. You need to be present there. Basically, if you're bio-heavy early on, you need to be present on the map.
Yeah, you need
to him to stim.
Be running around him and making him not come up to your base like this. This is exactly what you don't want to happen.
Oh, he's stimming. Okay, that was an overstim.
Yeah, it stims every unit.
Oh, now he's got the stim again to get away.
No, this is going to be bad. Well, he does have a nice spread there. A Marauder's in there too, Tasteless.
All right, so I was finally right about that.
Finally. And there goes some siege tanks. Nice snipe there by aLive.
All right. Our red Terran aLive is expanded again at the bottom to the next most common location to expand to.
Yeah. Third base.
Yeah, third base down there. And it looks like Byun's going to do that as well. It's a good time to take your third base.
You know why we have a little lull in the action, Tasteless? Do you ever take a third base on the ladder?
Third base? I take a nerd face. Take his ladder points.
Yeah. What happens when you're searching for a game?
Oh, well, what do you mean? Like when I'm like? Oh, you mean like when I hit the search button?
Yeah.
Oh, well, have you seen like Terminator 1?
Yeah.
You know when Arnold Schwarzenegger gets in the phone book?
Yeah.
He's like, you're going to house, he's like, Shao Kana. He's like, yes, that's me. And then he shoots her in the face.
Yeah.
That's me, all right?
Wow.
Taking their ladder points.
Poor Sarah.
That was really good, by the way, by aLive. He went up there, just peeked. He doesn't even want to let him destroy the rocks.
No, this is a bad position for Byun, man. I mean, he's 137 supply to 164. He's actually up in SCVs a little bit, but the third base is just finishing for aLive now. And look at that. Nice siege up by aLive. He is the one that's being mobile, and he's the one that's been making tanks all day. So it's kind of a weird dynamic we're seeing here. It seems like Byun keeps stimming and running in, and even when the tanks aren't sieged, he backs up.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Okay, the sheer number of units. Can you check the supply for me, Artosis?
It is 150 for Byun, 179 for aLive.
I love the way aLive has been swimming in circles around his opponent. It's like watching a shark, not letting him get anywhere too far away, not letting him expand. Uh-oh.
And here we go. He's going to go ahead and stim and spread, but he just has fewer units.
Yeah, I mean, that's just it. That actually may possibly be the beginning of the end here. He doesn't have another base. These siege tanks can, if he does it right, get over here and start to hit SCVs.
Uh-oh. Byun running up with a tiny little group of units. I don't know what he's really doing.
There were like less Marines in that group that he ran up there than there were tanks.
Yeah. One Marine per siege tank. This would all have to be Tasteless Marines.
They're Clyde Marines. He did lose his refinery. That's pretty big, guys. I mean, that's less medevacs, less siege tanks. That's going to be hurting the Terran.
In the meantime, 50 supply plus is aLive. He's got that third base going. Byun just now clearing out third base rocks.
You know, not even be able to mine from one of those patches because of the siege tank range hurts the amount of saturation you can have after expansion.
Yeah.
And look, this aLive does not even carry so far ahead. He just walks into the siege tank, sieges up. He knows at the end of the day he's going to have more stuff than his opponent.
Yeah.
And that's the right move.
He's quite right, man. He's up over 60 supply now, and he is maxed out, sending more units up here. And I think Byun is just going to try to break him and realize, oh, that is never going to occur, and then we're going to see a GG.
Uh-oh.
Oh, look at this.
That was a good job by Byun.
It was, but in comes aLive.
Uh-oh.
From a million more units.
There's actually so much stuff that we can't even capture it all on the screen. And I believe Artosis just used the word manillion.
Yeah, it's a real number. It's really big.
It sounds like whenever you have a lot of stuff that's Manila colored. Now, he's managed to get in there. He can get close to this expansion up the north, right here. Here we go.
And, well, Byun will clean up that little siege tank party. Wasn't a very good party.
No.
They were too loud. The Marine cops came by and shut it down.
At this party. It's lame. There's no girls here. It's lame.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Oops.
Actually, that's a pretty big mistake by aLive.
Yeah. Poor siege tanks for nothing. But, again, he is still up a lot of supply. Over 30, taking a fourth base. Whereas Byun's top expansion doesn't have its gases yet. It's a little bit, stuck there. He doesn't have anything up there to defend it, and aLive is going for it, Tasteless.
Here we go. Uh-oh. These guys might as well hold hands and jump off the cliff. There's no way they're getting out of this one. Goodbye, Orbital. We gotta move. I liked it there. The view was nice.
It had good schools. It's not my fault they laid me off. The economy's bad. Why are you saying these mean things?
I don't know what else to say about this game. aLive is continuing. We haven't gotten many shots of it because there's been so much action at the upper right. But the real story is at the bottom left, where our Red Terran aLive is just taking the entire map.
Yes,
he's expanding. He's got sensor towers. And Byun is just struggling. He's never been able to get to his opponent's side of the map. That's how dominant aLive has been in this game.
Well, aLive right now just kind of zoning out, and not in a bad way. Zoning out basically the rest of the map, just letting Byun sit on his 3 bases and trying to keep everything out of his reach. Aside from that, Byun with a very nice spread there, but the tanks do siege up and he has to pull back.
Siege tanks moving out now, more Marines. So many barracks.
Oh, God.
I'll never be able to do it like you say, so many banelings.
Of course not. And actually, aLive doesn't have so many barracks. But still, he's done a great job macroing. Interesting. Byun actually had more barracks until just a moment ago.
Well, he's got to spend those minerals somewhere. It's not like he can get any more command centers out.
Yeah, certainly not. May as well make them so aLive can keep killing them.
Yeah, to keep this game interesting. It's actually been a fairly one-sided game here. Looks like we're going to have another engagement.
Yeah, it certainly has been quite one-sided. The amount of bases that aLive has is just eventually going to take a toll. Eventually, Byun is going to be like, well, I can't secure a 4th, and you're still maxed. It's hard right now for aLive to attack but really he shouldn't. He should just set 4 bases, keep macroing up, get his upgrades, take more bases, deny expansions.
Basically get more ahead.
That is actually an excellent way to put it. I never thought of that.
A really smart, handsome nerd once told me that.
Yeah. Was he good at StarCraft?
He was okay. No. You're a very good StarCraft player, Joseph. Here we go. Scanning. I gotta really point out the maneuverability that aLive has exhibited here is really impressive.
Yeah, it truly is. And half his tanks go up, the Marines run in, get splattered by the other half. Very nice move. And now he's going to go up that third.
Orbital's going to die so fast.
Yeah, it is not long for this world. He has those 3-2 Marines. LOL. No way to save that. You got to rain 50 mules on that thing. It wasn't going to live. Marine versus mule, which is better? A million.
You think a mule would be able to fight, but it can't. It's a pacifist.
It's a slave.
It's the only
you work it to
Buddhist unit in the game. It preaches nonviolence. What?
Broodlings are fruitless.
Here we go, Stim. And land the mule.
That's going to be it.
That's
GG.
it.
And that was just utterly one-sided, man. Byun got completely outplayed.
I don't know if
aLive right there. He's looking good. He's happy. He looks a little angry even. Byun over here, he's saying, "Oh man, son of a Byun, I got totally outplayed."
Son of a Byun, Xenix Byun. Byun.
I was saving that all game. I thought it was so funny. You didn't even laugh. You didn't even laugh.
He got excited. Like right before he said that, he was like, he gave me this look where he's like. That's the look he gives me when he really has something funny to say. He perks up like this.
Some things I laugh at,
He delivers it, he looks into my eyes as he does it, and I giggle.
Tickles me.
It is, you're funny.
Rhyming words and like alliteration.
You
like stupid
are,
stuff. Yeah.
on my funny ladder, you are top 3.
Yeah. I'm grandmasters in something.
You're grandmasters in funny. So our next map's going to be Terminus Re. This is a great map, but, Again, it's one of these big open maps. When you get a big open map, a player like aLive that can maneuver around the map, can siege, unsiege, engage and retreat.
He did that beautifully.
I think this game might look very similar. Byun got off to a bad start. He did one very bizarre stim where, he had less Marines than his opponent, and he didn't have siege tanks with it. And then he lost all his stuff. And then from there, it was just aLive knocking him around the ring. So
basically, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so the countdown started. It's game time, Terran versus Terran. I hope Byun can show us a better game where it will be a 2-0. So you think he can do it?
Yeah. He's definitely going to show a better game than that one. That was the worst I've seen Byun play ever.
Normally he's much better about engagements. Most of that game was like him stimming, running in and be like, you got too much, and running away. All right, head-to-head here. aLive against Byun. Can Byun engineer a comeback, or is aLive going to 2-0 this? Let's find out. This is the up and down matches of the GSL. Artosis, you do the